Hello Capricorn, and welcome to Elevated Intuition. Today we are looking at your energy for December. So I have these cards already out for us. We'll get to them in a moment and I'll tell you what the question is behind each one of them. First, I want to start with an affirmation. I pulled an affirmation for everyone, and today yours is engagement. Today, I make the conscious choice to engage with the world in an active way. I'll take a new route and talk to strangers. I will smell flowers and pet dogs, and maybe walk around barefoot for a while if I'm not inside a 7-Eleven. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that. At the very least, I'll have a day that's slightly more interesting than average, and at the most, I will have a startling epiphany or make a new friend who will change my life forever. No pressure. Isn't that interesting though? Like at any given day, we could meet somebody who changes our life forever, or we could have like an amazing idea that changes our life forever. And I love the intent behind this of, setting off and just making your day a little bit more interesting. There's nothing that says that you have to drive the same way to work every day, or you can't just see how many people you can say hi to, or, that, who knows where that will lead you. So we've got 4 cards here for us, 4 tarot cards anyway, and I have 4 questions behind them. The first one that we're going to start off with is what energies will be flowing with you this month, and it is the 4 of Pentacles reversed. Then next to that, this is where you should be focusing attention this month, and that is the 8 of Swords reversed. Third card we have, which is the 10 of Cups reversed, and then this is what challenges might you face this month. And finally, we end with death, right? We always end with death. Don't be... It's not scary at all, and it's something you should work towards letting go. But what is funny about this is change and death is coming out a lot in these readings, and it's often coming out in this spot. And I think it's really funny when you pull a card of change and it's a card of change. So card of change in a position of change. Basically, it's inevitable. Change is inevitable. The only thing constant is change. And we are very well equipped as a species, as a being, to handle it, even though we act a lot of times like it's the end of the world. So I feel like Capricorn, this is saying like embrace that change, because there are some things here that could be a little problematic. Let's go back to our 4 of Pentacles and what energies are flowing with you this month. Usually it's a great thing when we've got the 4 of Pentacles in reverse, because you can see here upright, he is standing on his fortune. It's kind of like restricted. It's kind of holding ourselves back, and maybe not in the best kind of way. If we restrict ourselves too much, like if we restrict what we eat too much, what we're consuming, what we're taking in, it actually harms us rather than hurts us. So while saving your money is a great thing, holding on too tightly is a bad thing as well. It's all about balance. Right? If we just like spend all of our money, then, and especially knowing what time of year it is, that's not a great thing either. So it's a balance of holding on and letting go, and making sure that you're taking care of yourself first, making sure you're taking care of your needs first, and not, I think it's really also an energy behind it as well. Like, you're not spending money because you feel like that's what you need to do because you're trying to gain some sort of love from it or acceptance. Because some people's love language is gift giving. And that's okay, but it doesn't mean that the gifts have to be extravagant or huge or big. Other people's love language is not that though. And if you are spending a lot of money and giving gifts, and it's just like, you know, you didn't really need to do that. It wasn't really something that you had to do. And I feel like a lot of times in this particular time of the year, we feel like we need to hit all those Black Friday sales. And there's a lot of manipulation behind these things too, because they'll mark something up to show that you have like this great savings when really it's not that much. So I feel like for you, Capricorn, a lot of balance is required this month. Eight of Swords reversed is also, you know, this card is better in reverse as well. And what you should be focusing on, I feel like change this month, like embracing the change is going to be good for you, because Eight of Swords is kind of coming out of a funk. This is imprisonment, but it is a confinement that you've put yourself in. It's your own little box. One thing too that's interesting, because surrounding yourself by swords, right? The sharp edges not only keeps you in here, but it keeps other people out. And that's why I think this engagement card is so important, because you don't want to put up boundaries where you're keeping people out, and then concerns that you're not making the connections that you should be, because we are, you know, this is definitely a time of year of making connections. Even historically, like when you think about going into winter, at least us in, the Northern Hemisphere, it's a time where, you know, we need each other's help. Sometimes we need extra wood for the fire, and our neighbor has that, and maybe you have sugar, and you know, it's kind of a time of scarcity in some ways, because you can't just go out and have plenty of crops growing. We've had to take steps to make sure that we can make it through the winter, and usually we're making those steps together. But it feels like, Capricorn, that you've kind of shut yourself in a little bit, and maybe in a little bit too much. And this is not a criticism at all, because I feel like a lot of people are doing this right now. But you can't discount human connection and how important that is. And the great thing too is that now, the times that we're living in, there's so many more ways that you can make connections. So I feel like this engagement card and then this Eight of Swords reversed are very much in the same kind of energy of you going out and making connections, and realizing that the boundaries that are around you or between yourselves is self-imposed. And you don't need that. Now, this is also kind of a little tough energy. Again, though, we talk through all of this, right? It's not anything that that we all encounter all the time. But that's what these readings are about, is strategies to help us out and help us through things, and see things rather than obstacles, but rather as opportunities. And we've got the Ten of Cups reversed, and what challenges you might face this month. And this is the ideal happy family. This is the best case scenario. Like I said, everything is flowing. They have abundance. But it's also like the middle of summer. So, you know, this isn't that it's out of reach for you. It's just maybe not the energy that we're at right now. Or a lot of times we are forced to project this idea of the happy family, but it doesn't really exist. And then not for everybody, but you get all these cards from everyone, and they have these beautiful pictures, and you're like, oh my gosh, it must be so wonderful to be in their life. Well, comparison is the thief of joy. So don't try to compare yourself and your situation to other people. The only person you should be competing with is yourself from yesterday. I think Matthew McConaughey had a great speech about that. Like, it was a little egotistical when he was talking about looking up to himself, but it is true though, like the greatest version of yourself or the higher version of yourself, and you're not in competition with anybody, and you don't have to, like your brother brings like this expensive bottle of wine to Christmas. You don't have to like match anybody else's gifts. Like, you being there and being who you are is gift enough, Capricorn. Okay, let's make those connections. And then we go back to the Death card. I hinted at this, I touched on it before, is it's something work towards letting go, is just work towards letting go of change. And I also think with these cards too, a lot of what you need to let go of is like social constructs or ideas or judgment or ways that you think that you should be or your family should be or how you present yourself. Just be you. I feel like there's a lot of things that need to shed here, that the important thing is who you are and the connections that you make. And that's what you need to keep in mind here, Capricorn, for December. So we've got 2 more cards here. Let's take a look at the first one. These are cards of advice. And we've got 5 orphaned. So just because we know we're coming out of a funk doesn't mean that we might not slip back into it. This 8 of Swords is very much connected to this orphaned card where we feel like we're out on our own. And I feel like that's why this engagement card came in for you so strong, because making connections can be really important, especially when you're feeling a sense of loss or identity crisis, or recognizing maybe you don't feel like you fit in places. But I feel like the 10 of Cups reversed here is like, well, you don't have to fit in everywhere. And I bet you can find your people. We are all meant to have connections with other people, within our family, society, and the larger culture. And no person is an island. It's important to recognize that being part of rather than separate from is essential to our well-being. Human connection is important. And I think that's why it's highlighted here in December for you. Even this 4 of Pentacles reversed, right? He's trapped in, we've got 2 cards here kind of trapped in. And then we've got this, maybe this idea of the perfect family. Don't let that trap you in. Cut those ties, because there's opportunity here for you to be yourself and to thrive for who you are, who your family is. There's so many different types of families and what they're into. There's no like perfect. It's just, being you, but it hurts sometimes because we feel like we're left out. And, then Capricorn, to be fair, and this is all about balance. And I think I talked about balance a little bit here with especially the 4 of Pentacles reversed. I love your cards, how they're very much connected here. And, maybe you do feel good being alone. Maybe you are an introvert, but there is a balance to that too, because we still want to make sure that we are a part of society, of our family, of other people's lives, that we matter, that we have a purpose. And trust me, Capricorn, you are for sure. What we're cutting here, what we're changing here, what we're letting go of is that idea that you're not. It's all about balance. It's about balance in what you spend. It's about balance in what you think. And it's about balance in how you feel. And I feel like these cards are, like I said, these 2 are better up reversed. So I feel like you're going through this transition. Let's not block that. 10 of Cups ideally should be upright, but I feel like once you find that balance and acceptance for who you are, that it's really going to help you and you're really going to thrive. And this feels like a transition month for you, Capricorn. Feels like there might be some stumbles. It feels like it might be difficult, but I feel like you're going to a much better place than you've been. I feel like it feels like things are lightening for you. Like a lightning, not lightning as in lightning in the sky, but a lightness, like lighten the load. So love you, Capricorn. Hope you have a fantastic day. And thank you so much for being here. I will see you in the next reading.